Hello, everyone, and welcome into this reading. This is going to be a message from your person reading. So I'm going to pull some cards and channel in a message that's coming through. And remember, with this type of reading, listen as the beginning part is unfolding and see if this matches your scenario. If it doesn't resonate, don't try to force this narrative onto your situation. But if there are parts of it that do resonate, then that means it's a message that you've been drawn to hear. So I'm going to use, this is my new deck. I don't know, for people who were watching the daily message today, you will have seen that this is a new deck, so I'm excited to use it. So I figured I'd use it for this reading as well. And I'll pull some oracle cards and a few letter tiles at the end as well. So, all right, let's take a look at recent past energies. We have our Ten of Wands and the Knight of Wands. So in the recent past, for the story or the channel that's coming through here, is there's been a lot of stress and burden and exhaustion coming through from your person. So the Ten of Wands here is just these deep feelings of struggling and responsibility from your Knight of Wands. And usually the Knight of Wands energy tends to be one that's more courageous and adventurous, like that type of energy. But lately the person has been feeling like your person, and here I'm going to pop this up so you can see the picture a little bit better here. And so lately with your person, and maybe some of these pictures resonate with you as well. So your person's just been very, very burdened. There's, 10 of these wands that they're trying to carry, and it just seems like it's such a huge responsibility and they get overwhelmed. Even though normally they would be more outgoing, and maybe that's the facade that they put on to the rest of the world, is that they're this tough, wearing this armor, this courageous, like getting ready to go into battle, but really that's more like a mask that they're trying to avoid letting people know just how burned out they really are and just how much they're struggling. That's in the recent past with your person. Let's take a look at their present energy. The King of Wands energy, and then the Emperor in reverse. So in their current energy, your person is in this kind of leader type of a role. So they are rising up to meet the challenges. So they're still carrying this burden. They're not at a point where they're laying this burden down. They continue to rise up and keep carrying that burden. But again, if they're not addressing it, and sorry, this isn't popping up very high. So I was trying to do it where you don't see as much of a glare, but we'll see. So it's like they're still wanting to sit in this energy of saying, no, I can handle this. I can handle it. And, just look at what a great job I'm doing handling it. But there is this Emperor in reverse energy that's also coming in. So this is like a little bit of, they feel like they don't have control. And so again, it kind of comes across as like a mask that they're wearing. So here's a close-up of our King of Wands. And, with all this Wands energy, this is like spirit. So like the wands represent spirit. And so it's almost like their spirit is starting to get crushed a little bit. Almost like I get the visual of like the light is starting to dim from their eyes. And here's a close-up of your Emperor in reverse card. I'm trying to see if I can get it to focus there. So it's a little bit of this rigidity right now of they've been burned out, but they've been wearing this mask so long, like they have this persistent, like, no, I can do this, almost to a fault. So because they've been able to do it, they don't want to tell anybody that they can't, because it's almost like that they believe that would come across as weak. So normally the Emperor in the upright is that divine, like that strong masculine, divine masculine, like that sort of energy. But in the reverse, it's almost like they're trying to fake it till they make it isn't really the right way of looking at it, but it's like they don't want anybody to think that they're not the Emperor, if that makes sense. And oops, so the two that jumped out, this was going to be for the future energy. We have our King of Cups, and then we have our Seven of Wands. So this is an awful lot of Wands energy. So from a spirit standpoint, they're definitely deep in soul right now. So here is our Seven of Wands. So incoming energy, there is this stamina and perseverance. So, the dog has the stick and they're still going, still going. But there also is a little bit of that sense of assertiveness. So that might mean that there's going to be energy to change the situation, change what's burning them out. Then we also have our King of Cups energy. So it's the sense of wisdom and balance that's coming in, a sense of calm. So that's kind of overall what is happening with your person. Let's take a look at, I'll pull 3 cards here for what is it that your person has in terms of their feelings towards you, towards your relationship, your connection, whatever that looks like for you in your current situation. So 3 cards here. We have the Strength card, we have Page of Swords, and then we have the 5 of Swords in reverse. So we'll start one by one. So we have the Strength card, and I love it that it's like this tiny little dog riding on top of a lion there. So there is a sense of strength when it comes to your relationship. Your Page of Swords energy is going to be like this patient planning type of energy. So see, it almost looks like the dog is like off in thought, thinking about what it is that they want to do. Our 5 of Swords in reverse is this energy of compromise, like resolution, that they want to try to solve or, fix or improve upon whatever is affecting you right now. So if you're watching this reading, it's probably because there's some sort of a hiccup, some sort of a question about where do things stand with you. So it looks like there is an interest and a push from them to try to bring the connection closer, to try to mend whatever strain is happening right now. And they're planning it out. They're being patient with how they're doing it. So, it looks like this person, your person, is a slow mover. They are able to, I'll say, handle a lot. They're able to take on a lot, and, which that can be a good thing. But I know it can also be frustrating if you're waiting for them to make some sort of a move. All of this strength and perseverance and all of that kind of has a sense of, like, yeah, I'm overloaded, but I've been overloaded for so long I figured out how to do it. But there is a strength within your connection, like they're trying to overcome whatever these obstacles are. All right, let's take a look. We'll pull a couple of these. We have our adjustments are required and believe in the impossible. So there's some adjustments that are required in terms of whatever this compromise and resolution are. But then don't lose faith. Don't lose hope in the connection or what is trying to come through for you, because they are, they do have the strength and the perseverance to want to see this through. And right now it's just a matter of they're being patient, but they're also planning. So it's almost like this sense of, I wonder what things would look like with my person. How could I make it better? Let's put some plans in place for how to maybe do that. All right, we'll pull a card here. Different paths. You are not on the same path with the person you have in mind. The direction you want to move into are different. And then beware of codependency. Addictive behaviors are affecting your romantic life. So that's a little bit, I guess, contrary to kind of what was coming up with the rest of the reading. And to be honest, I have had some issues, not as much with this deck, but one of the other decks that's supposed to be this Hidden Truths Oracle, that sometimes those are coming out contrary to the way the rest of the cards read. So I'm actually making a new set of cards. And I should hopefully have those done soon. So they're going to look like this. But, in terms of the beware of codependency, that there's addictive behaviors that are affecting your romantic life. So some of it is, yes, this person's looking to make a move. One of the things to be aware of is, depending on the nature of how you've been interacting with this person, you could be in a position where there's these codependent behaviors that are coming into play. So it's almost like you always being there is enabling them to avoid doing their own healing work. So sometimes in scenarios, especially in twin flame connections, so if you're in a twin flame connection, be aware of this, that each of the partners needs to heal before you can come together in union. And if you're continually propping up the other person and kind of overextending yourself, it is not, I guess, encouraging them to move. It's not encouraging them to heal. So that's something to be aware of, is you want to make sure that your giving and your contribution to the relationship is not enabling them to avoid healing and avoid doing their inner work. And when it says you are not on the same path with the person you have in mind, the directions you want to move into are different. So they are planning something, but there's some adjustments that are required. So it could be a situation where you are really pushing to want to go in one direction, they're wanting to go in a slightly different one. So it's not that you want to be together, they don't, but it could be something where, say, you want to be together and get married, and they're saying, no, I want you in my life, but I don't know that I want to be in a serious relationship. So there's some adjustments that are required and needing to come to some sort of a resolution. And with that one, finding some sort of peaceful compromise, some reconciliation, because otherwise you two are kind of naturally on different paths. It can also be a matter of timing as well, that like you want something now and they're kind of in this slow, kind of persistent energy. So it could be a long-term relationship where, the example I used before, like you want to get married and they're just kind of slowly baby stepping their way into a more committed relationship with you. So that could be like different paths, different paces. So make sure, the biggest thing with this beware of codependency is to make sure that you're not selling yourself short or making yourself small in order to avoid like hurting their feelings or disrupting the apple cart. Because if you're not being true to yourself and what you want, that's preventing both of you from healing, because you're not healing because you're not standing up for yourself. And you're also not putting your partner in a position for them to heal, because you're essentially saying, I don't care, I'll do whatever just to be, in a relationship with you, even if it's not the way you want it to be. All right, so the two cards here, release your need to control the situation, and a new door is opening shortly. So with the release your need to control the situation, this is something where it's telling you, you can't direct the flow of this necessarily. So if you think about, for example, if you're in the middle of a stream, with your bare hands, you can't direct the water and say, okay, well, I'm going to change the whole course of the stream by putting my hand here, putting my hand here. Like, you have to kind of go with the flow and surrender to the divine and say, okay, this is taking me, the stream is taking me to where I need to go. I'm going to stop trying to, control the flow of this with my hands, type of thing. And then a new door is opening shortly. So with this, it doesn't necessarily mean like that this is ending and a new relationship is coming in, but this is like a new door. I'll call it, it can be within your relationship. So if there's codependency issues and some of this is a matter of you standing in your truth, like they're trying to get up the strength to stand in their truth. And if you're standing in your truth, a new new door, like a new phase is coming in. So, if you want something different, you have to make different choices. So if you're not happy, if there's something that's causing you distress, concern, agitation, whatever within your relationship, which typically if you're watching tarot readings about, relationships, there's something that's bugging you. That's something where a new phase is coming. So in order to do that, though, you have to take a look at what is your contribution. If you're trying to control the situation by like overdoing everything, you're not really giving them a chance to grow. All right, let's pull a few of these piles and see. That feels like a small handful. So let's see what those 6 are. And what are the chances that I set them all down exactly like that? Okay. So I'm sensing there could be a little bit of frustration with your partner right now because that came out. Or, putting it this way, more on something. Like more work needs to be done on you working on yourself. So some of these like adjustments need to be made. That's not just adjustments on their part. You need to release your need to control the situation. You need to make some adjustments as well. So like more time on reflection, meditation, growth, healing. What can you do? Because it seems like this person is kind of slow in their moving. So for you, it's going to be a matter of, are you pushing it along because you're scared that if you're not pushing, then everything's going to come to a screeching halt? So if that's a codependency piece for you, that's something for you to work on. There's also room. So is there room within your relationship for you to grow, for the other person to grow? So things to consider. You can move all the letters around as well. Maybe they have a special significance to you. But I hope you found this to be helpful. But as I mentioned, take only what resonates and leave the rest behind. So, excuse me. So if you, I will be doing some additional readings this week, like a twin flame reading. I know I need to do an updated one of those as well. So make sure you hit the subscribe and notification bell if you want to be alerted as to when these new videos post. Otherwise, I wish you peace and joy along your journey. Until next time.